Even my grandma uses an iPhone. Why are you still using an Android? Ugh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, or evening, wherever the hell you are. Today's debate statement is Android has more features and Apple users are just brand obsessed people. Is it true? I don't know. Let's find out. So, on the opposition, we have the beautiful Hersey and me. And on the affirmative team, we have the beautiful Thomas and the very handsome Chow.
Thank you.
And they will start first with 5 minutes.
Well, I guess we are talking about whether or not Apple users are brand obsessed. And I just want to pull out some statistics about how iPhone users actually feel about the brand. So there was a survey that was done that showed that in the last 5 years of software updates, the iPhone users have actually been largely unimpressed by Apple intelligence, and only 58% of survey participants actually did not bother updating their iOS to the latest one because they didn't feel like the update was actually relevant or important to them at all. And 73% said that they don't really add any value after experiencing Apple Intelligence and the update that iPhone was so happy to push out. And I think this shows that despite them knowing with all certainty that this update doesn't really do much for them and that Apple Intelligence doesn't bring a lot of value to them, that they won't really use the features and the functions that was introduced, they still want to be brand loyal purely because of the Apple branding, which I would say is good for Apple. I feel like Apple has managed to build a really good branding, but what does it say about the followers, the cult followers of the iPhone and the brand who simply follow it for a brand rather than the actual features and functions? And I think that really does show how the Apple users are really just largely swayed by branding.
P-brain.
A little bit like that, yeah. And a lot of times, I think in addition to that, a lot of times the reason for Apple users to continue using Apple and iPhones is because of the ecosystem. So they always will agree that there haven't been a lot of changes to the functions, but they'll say, oh, I'm stuck to the ecosystem. And this only reflects and shows that the user of iPhones and the ecosystem, they are just very comfortable and they'd rather stick to something that they already know rather than learn something new, even if the new and the change is actually potentially better.
Okay, so I'll be honest. When I was a pea-brain child, I used an Apple. Just in the name of the brand alone, you know that it's going to be simple, right? It's an Apple, okay? Whereas what else is there to understand, right? But an Android is defined as a robot with a human appearance. It's intriguing, it's dynamic, it's what Android phones are. Okay, so once I've converted to an Android, I actually never went back. Apple is limiting. Okay, you have to be within its ecosystem to fully utilize it, as Chow just mentioned, right? Where Android is open, it's plug and play to PCs, quick share or nearby share to any other Android phone, while Apple is like the selfish mean girls clique. It's like, oh, I took a photo, sorry, only got AirDrop. Sorry, I don't want to make anything that can share with Android users. You know, they just want to stick within their own clique.
Oh.
But that's what Apple users are. And to add on about the freedom that Androids have, there's an Android phone for literally everything. You want it to flip open, there is the Flip series, there is the foldables. You want there to be an indestructible phone, there is like the Honor X9C, which can withstand a nail hammering into the screen. You want a gaming phone, there are those from Asus ROG. You want a photography phone. Now the new Xiaomi's recent 15 series actually allows you to attach a full lens onto the phone itself. So you can check it out, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is really cool.
Yeah, and not to mention the AI features on the phone as well are impeccable.
Yep.
So, you know, I can even point my phone. So with the new S25 from Samsung, you can actually point your phone to the fridge and have it look at your ingredients and it will suggest a recipe to you. Can an Apple phone do that? No, because it is just an ingredient. It is an apple. So iPhone 16 specs are also super limited, right? Year after year, just look at the amount of memes that go on where people keep talking about how like there's no improvements out there, but people just keep buying because it's a cult lah. You're basically joined the cult, okay? The freedom also further extends to app developers being able to better customize their apps, their home screen layouts, their widgets, and these various functions only came years later to Apple. Now back to talking about, a little bit of time left. So let's talk about how because
No.
of because of how much larger the market share of Android phones are compared to iPhones, the price points are also different. So Androids also have much cheaper variants and also much more premium variants. You can have different price points. And here's a little fun fact to end it off for you to debate. Because of this cult-like behavior and expensive phones, guess where people buy most of their iPhones? From second-hand markets. And so 80% of all phone thefts are actually iPhones. And is it because people don't want Android? No, it's because iPhone users don't even know how to keep their phones safe. It's because they know iPhone buyers will crave for iPhones. It's like a drug. And so it actually makes it safer to own an Android phone.
That is a really weird stat. but
Yeah, what a
I've-
fun
yeah.
fact, right?
Yeah,
That's
it's
pretty
so
fun.
random.
Yeah, there you go.
Bonus points for comedy.
Good morning, everyone.
What is this weird ASMR we subscribe to?
First, I have a gift.
Oh, pink kueh, right? No, is it not pink kueh?
Yeah.
Pink kueh.
Okay.
You must be an Apple user.
Okay,
Because we've said with
Yeah,
Google.
maybe I was
Google
referring
Translate,
to teh pink kueh.
All right. My first point, ladies and gentlemen, is that iPhone users report better health than Android users. Because why? An apple a day keeps the doctor away. Correct.
Yes.
This
so
is
far.
like true fallacy. What kind of stat is that? That's wrong. She's shaking her head.
iPhone users also report
Thank you
a
for
better
being
love
with us.
life than Android users.
Love
Do
life.
us?
Because they're the apple of someone's eye. Ever heard of you're the Android of my eye?
This is
No.
irrelevant to the
No.
conversation.
Exactly. All right.
And I would
Now
like
back.
to point that out.
iPhones tend to hold their resale value better than Android phones. A 2024 data from a reseller revealed that iPhone series depreciates at a much slower rate than competitors like Google, Samsung, and OnePlus. Therefore, we are not just brand-obsessed followers, we are financially savvy brand-obsessed followers. Now, Apple also offers better video editing and music creation apps. And as creative people, we enjoy that, which is why we choose Apple. Now, like how your best girlfriends sync periods, Apple syncs all your data across your devices. iPhone, MacBook, Apple Watch, iPad, the interconnectivity saves you time, and time is money. And Android has Google software services, but Apple has that too. We offer you the best of both worlds. Plus, the interface across all Apple products are similar, which means that everything is intuitive for us, even when it's a new product. This is especially useful when it comes to getting new tech stuff for your parents or grandparents. Have you ever tried to teach your mom, your dad, or your grandma how to use a new tech product? You could kill yourself. But with Apple, you don't have to worry about that. It's intuitive. They know what to do with any new product. Now, a Geekbench test reveals that the iPhone 16 and iPhone 16 Pro Max scores higher in terms of their CPU performance when compared against the Galaxy S24 Ultra, the Asus ROG Phone 8 Pro and the Pixel 9 Pro. And in a real-world test of video transcoding with Adobe Premiere Rush, the iPhone 16 Pro Max completes that task in 21 seconds, roughly half the time it takes for the Galaxy S24 Ultra. And like I said, time is money. And just last night at 11:02 p.m., a TikTok account was doing a live stream with promos for an Android phone. Need to sell with so many promo codes obviously means the Android phone, not a lot of people buying, not a lot of people want it. You never see a TikTok live stream selling Apple phones because demand is there already. People love iPhones. Now, there are battery explosions and recalls and battery defects that caused the Galaxy Note 7 to overheat and combust or explode. This is so famous. On 10th October 2016, it got so bad that Samsung permanently discontinued the Galaxy Note 7 due to these repeated incidents. Also, let's talk about bloatware. Samsung likes to inject a shit ton of their proprietary bloatware into their phones, except their apps do exactly what default Android phones already do. iPhones have very, very minimal bloatware, and they definitely do not have duplicate apps that you cannot uninstall. For example, on a Samsung phone, you get stuff like 2 calendar apps, 2 internet browsers, 2 email clients, 2 messaging apps, 2 contact apps, 2 photo galleries, 2 app stores, 2 digital wallets, and 2 clock apps. Why do you need 2 of everything? It is just taking up space on your phone. And on Apple, if we don't want it, we can just delete it. And honestly, there are no duplicate apps anyway. Now, in conclusion, even if Android has more features, are their features better? Nope. It's quality over quantity for us. Okay, go.
Thank
so
you,
sorry.
everyone. My name is Hirzi, and I am the other speaker from this negative opposition side of the motion, who is unironically an iPhone user for the last 13 years. Because unlike my Huawei using comrade Muna Baghrib, I am not a communist. All my fellow Samsung using friends, I don't have intentions to have my device ignite mid-flight. All my Google phone users, an aesthetic-less nerd. Now, since this is not my first debate and all it takes is to win by vomiting out points, I'm just going to go straight to the points of it all. Oh, and I have 1 minute, so let's just go with it. We have a longer software support, yeah? iPhone receives iOS updates for 5 to 7 years, while most Android phones get updates for only 2 to 4 years. Better performance, Apple series chips consistently outperform Android processors, speed and efficiency. Seamless ecosystem, iPhone work effortlessly with MacBooks, iPads, Apple Watch, and Apple. Oh, this one we said we did just now. Sorry. Privacy and security. They say our iPhones get stolen. Hello, we have more systems to actually track down our iPhones than that. If people want to see our phone, it's because they love the iPhone and its function, not the Samsung. And talking about brand awareness, right? They're talking to us about how we are always so brand conscious. Did you know that iPhones do not believe in marketing with influencers, unlike the Android users? It's true. There is no such thing as marketing with influencers on an iPhone.
Oh. Fallacies right there.
Show me.
Oh my
Show
gosh.
me a local influencer with an iPhone campaign.
Oh
Show
my gosh,
me.
there's so many.
Banking.
What are you talking about?
Those are not paid campaigns. Yeah, they are hashtag shop on iPhone,
Wow.
but they're not paid.
Oh my
Still
gosh.
sponsored,
The
right?
It's not a
deception.
sponsored paid campaign.
I hate
my
to break
dear.
it
How
to
is
you.
it not
I hate to
sponsored
break it
if
to you.
they are sent the phones for free?
There-
How did you know this?
This is fake news.
Were this proven that they were sent these phones? No.
I mean, what if they've said that?
They've never said that. They just said it was shot on iPhone.
So you're telling us
It was
that the
shot
people
on
who
iPhone.
promote iPhones are lying and
They
deceiving
just
everybody?
said it was shot on iPhone.
Deceiving
it was never
consumers?
A paid campaign.
False
No one said
marketing?
it's a
You
fake
know what?
campaign.
Call banking now. On
We're gonna call him and ask.
And he's gonna pick up his sponsored iPhone.
It was just Hersey and I talking.
Oh. Wow.
Android users don't update their iOS often. That's what you said, right?
Apple.
No.
Apple
No, no,
users
no.
don't
Oh, yeah.
upgrade because they think like don't need.
Yes,
the-
Yeah.
but do you know that Android users also don't update as often because there is very little iOS updates available for Android phones. It's true. It
Of
says here on
course.
the Android updates can
iOS
sometimes feel
updates for
smaller,
Android phones.
less
The way
frequent
this
compared to
iPhone
iOS
user
updates.
doesn't know how
And-
iOS and Android works
And the reason why they
is
don't do it
glaringly clear.
is because Android updates often focus on security patches. Why do you even need to focus on it? Shouldn't it have already been fixed from the start? It shouldn't have even have been a problem from the start. Anyway,
No
if
lah.
it
Because
focus
there's
on
so
one
many
security
Android
They got a
patches
lot of
systems.
software
and two
stuff lah.
Yeah.
bug fixes, so there are a lot of
There are just
bugs.
too many.
Yeah, iPhone also lah.
iOS
Apple.
features, their updates focus more on major feature additions, which sometimes introduces significant new features. So Apple is constantly improving, while Android, clearly, you guys are just fixing problems.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That-
It
those
is
are
proven.
really
Apple
hard
only
allegations right there.
copies over features that Android phones did and then implement it,
Exactly.
and then
Yes,
they bluff
and we
your,
make it better. So
and then
what
they
if
bluff
we
your,
copy?
They're like, oh my god, this is new. Then you're like, oh my god,
If they
that's
make-
something new.
No, it's
Yeah.
new for
Samsung
Apple,
had it
but
for
what's wrong with that?
ages.
Every idea in this world is not creative and
yeah,
not original at this
appropriated
point.
of
What if
something.
it's
And even
We
more
take
so
it and
for
we make
Apple.
it better. So what's wrong?
How is it better if
You sound
73%
like Trump.
of the users don't want to
I'm way
use
too
it?
cool to be on this nerdy debate.
It doesn't matter whether people use it or not. It just,
73% say they don't add much value to their iPhone experience.
just
Apple
wanna start-
Intelligence.
I just want to start with the
She's
last
gonna
point that
start.
Hersey mentioned,
Carry
right?
on.
Which was not okay. First of all, I do believe that Apple does influencer campaigns, just that they don't pay. How stingy? They earn so much from expensive phones and they don't want to pay.
Apple, if you're watching
Right?
this, Thomas.
Yeah.
I love you, Apple.
If y'all can pay me way more, maybe we can talk about
So
it.
you're saying the reason why you're using a Samsung is because you were paid once a campaign. Okay, talk so much about your bias on functionality
I
and your belief in
started-
your support system. But sir and ma'am, he only swayed because he was paid a campaign. And this is the Android tactic.
I
And
love
tactic.
your-
sure.
I love your point. I love your
Their
point.
brand
I think
loyalty
you need to
through
listen.
paid
That's
campaigns,
right.
which
He did
are
it
not
for free.
and nothing to do. Sorry.
Okay, I love it. I love that you mentioned that because I actually switched over to a Samsung S4 at the very start, and I did my whole vlogging journey on YouTube using only the Samsung phone, which I was very proud of because of its amazing video capabilities. I was not paid, but I did so much, and I linked it in every single one of my videos because I believed in Samsung as a device. So, point
You
disapproved.
really want
But
that campaign, man.
I
Yeah.
really
But it
think
was
that
fun.
okay, but I feel that because if you look at how Android companies basically pay different kind of creators to do campaigns, it actually shows how much they support the creator economy and how much they support creator narratives.
Please,
and I
anyone
think that
with
is very
products to
important for
push
us.
will be supportive of any creator economy who will amplify their marketing for them at a cheaper rate than what advertising on billboards and campaigns and magazines would have been anyways. So don't act like it's a glorious thing that
well-
they amplify the creator industry. F that crap.
You
Well,
don't
I
you
feel
don't
like Apple's doing the
you
same
don't
thing,
want
they
the
just don't
salary.
pay
No, I don't.
and
I've
they
never
don't
gotten a Samsung
partner.
phone and I don't
They
need it.
even pay him. So what's your point?
They do partner with the creators
For
that they
free.
know who
They
are
give them
using.
free shit.
So there are a
Who?
lot of Android companies that reach out to you and check whether or not you are actually a user before they are even willing to partner
Yes, a
with
lot
you.
of them have reached out to me, and all of them want to do it for free. They're like, "Hey, we give you a free phone, like post for
Oh,
us."
I'm paid. I'm paid.
Yeah,
See,
it started out
brand
free, and
simps
after
like-
how many
like-
years
like
did you
a
get
Yeah,
started?
because
Samsung user
they
like
see
this
the
only
loyalty.
use it- They see the loyalty because I give them money.
This
so in
guy
that case,
is
are you
just
not
like-
just brand obsessed at this point or money obsessed?
And you're talking about functions, sir. Just now when you take out that pen, you had to use your mouth to take out that pen. That's how dysfunctional and unfunctional the Samsung phone is. If you're talking about all the great qualities that it has, and you have to do this, sir, my iPhone don't need that pen because my iPhone realizes how problematic that pen is. How many times have people lose it as well? If you want to talk about function, hey, stop raising your red flag because you're probably a Samsung user. Okay, put your there is bias already in the moderator. So freaking chill, freaking chill, freaking chill.
Moderator is biased. We need to fire her.
Every time we bring it up, you raise a red card because you have your Samsung
we
bias.
need to fire her.
I want to say that like the iPhone
someone
and
without
Apple
phone be the
users, right,
moderator?
they clearly
My
are just
grandma.
like way more emotional than Android users because they have
Yeah.
this sense of connection with
It's-
the brand and
it's
it's
called-
First of all,
Ah,
I'm
it's
fasting.
it's a
okay.
it's
Yeah.
So
such
I'm allowed
a
to be
deep-seated
emotional.
issue
It's
within
cults,
them.
it's
It's like
cults.
Apple is their personality now.
Yeah, it's very cult behavior.
Like I
lah.
said,
Why
Yeah.
do you need a pen when you have a finger? Your finger does everything.
For precision,
Yeah, can't
for
you write-
drawing, yeah.
You-
With
you-
my
for
finger, I
tactile
can.
feeling.
And also, like, it's a phone. You type.
Oh my
And
God,
if you
you're
wanna
so
bring that
that's
up-
why I say Apple users like very limiting.
Yeah.
Why you spend also
Because we
problem.
also have iPad to do this.
not
You also have a
limited,
pen.
it's
The
Bro,
amount of problems your
she
iPad
got
will
two
have
phones.
from doing this on the
I
phone.
asked her, she got two phones. Why I got pencil?
This one's not mine. It's by production.
Then
by
it's
production
there lah.
point,
It's
it's
just
production
there. I
point,
don't know
right? It
lah.
just so happen, what the
You
hell?
can't just do that. I don't know right, wrong, whatever.
I mean, if we want to talk about features so that we stop screaming at each other, let's talk about things that exist in the current time, okay? So let's talk
Okay,
about
let's
like
talk about the
native
new
editing features for the
Apple-
Google editing features in your editing functions that are already on your photo album. You can add so many different things that they are not available on your iPhone.
So
oh,
many
they
different
are, including
functions.
all
They
your
are.
AI
Have you
features
seen-
like
it's
Magic
safety and
Eraser.
security
Did we have it?
testing.
Magic.
We do have
After
it.
they discovered that someone else was doing it, they're
Does-
like, all
it
right,
doesn't
let's
matter.
add it
That
in.
point is completely moot. It doesn't
And
matter who
in-
came up with it
and
first.
also
fact is
the
we
other
still do
things
have it.
And we
that
do
are
it
all
safer. We don't
available,
combust
such
mid-flight.
as
I'm so sorry, but
taking a
how many
picture,
times has an
group
Android
pictures
phone
without
have
anyone else in the
guided
picture
the safety and security testing by
being left
industry
out
standards?
because you can do something
Miss,
that allows
answer
you
that
to just
question.
add that
Which phones have combusted mid-flight because they have so many functions but didn't test it properly?
I
Isn't
don't know,
life
which phone?
more exciting
Yeah.
with a little bit of thrill?
Fire in my flight? No! What the hell?
I just want to say he was joking.
He was not
That's
joking.
not real.
meant
He was
it
I
just
was like-
joking.
I buy
fine.
Samsung because I don't
I-
know
I-
if
I
it'll
don't like
explode,
this.
and that's how I
don't
like to
this
live.
conversation.
Okay, Malaysia.
Everyone is
Okay,
shouting.
I want to talk about
I don't
the,
feel safe
the
right
AirPods
now.
Pro, okay? Do you know that this can also be used as a hearing aid? A lot of people who cannot afford to spend thousands of dollars on hearing aids actually resort to using this as a hearing aid. So we are so compassionate. Look at them. They create things that help
That's
people
wild.
out.
That is wild.
Also, you talk about Samsung fridge
Like,
and how like
why does she have to
Apple
make
phone
it emotional,
cannot
like
connect.
compassion suddenly? What even? Like
they thought about it, they didn't have to
this
include
because
this
they
kind
were
of fucking feature.
compassion. Whoa, she just
Yeah.
swore.
But they
Did you hear that?
did. It's
Swear words.
amazing. It's so compassionate. they
Why
thought
not
about the
have
death.
voice-over captions and sound
Yes, yes,
recognition?
they got it from Samsung. Yeah, actually, yeah.
Anyway,
Actually, we have this thing right called audio eraser. I think it's damn
Yeah,
cool.
it's
So you can
amazing.
film right, and it actually isolates all different sounds. So voice, music,
I think we already have
ambient
that
sound.
lah. We have
Y'all
that lah.
don't.
The 16 Pro
Y'all
Max have it.
don't.
Don't have.
Actually,
how you
don't.
know?
I'm so sorry,
How
this
I-
moderator
because-
is not
Never use
allowed to be a
iPhone.
moderator.
I
There
know
is
that they
clear
don't have
bias.
such
Every
things.
Yeah.
time he brings up a point, she nods. Every time we bring up a point, she shakes her head.
What about
That
like
is it. I'm so sorry, Cheryl.
Magic
you do not
Studio,
qualify to
adding
be a
AI
moderator with
generations
bias.
into your pictures?
Can I add one more? Can I add one more point for her to nod her head at? Right, your benchmarks of the iPhone 16 Pro Max or whatever. That's the newest iPhone phone, right? 16 Pro Max, right? Are benchmarked against the older Samsung Galaxy, which is the 24. But now there's the 25 already. So if you look at the benchmarks that the 25 has, Samsung actually wins out in terms of photo, in terms of LED screen, in
Not
terms
in
of
terms of
performance.
aesthetic for sure.
It's
The,
okay. I'm gonna be honest, right? I'm gonna be honest, This one I give it lah. They actually copy iPhone on the aesthetics, so we actually look the same.
Yeah. Now, see? So gross.
Wait.
and
I
he
have a
said
few
it.
points. Okay.
dear.
Now, what Thomas said earlier, his points about how Android is better in some ways. First of all, Apple also has third-party lens kits, sometimes approved by Apple and sold in Apple stores, so you can clip it to your phone body and it allows the lens to see through the iPhone's camera. So Apple can do that as well. Also, you talk about Samsung and the
That's a
fridge.
phone lens clip. These are camera lenses that you can attach onto the phone.
Yeah, these are camera lens
Lenses
clips
we can
also
attach to
that
the
you
phone.
clip onto the phone.
Oh, okay,
Hey, you
okay.
shut
Yes,
up
we
your
have that
face.
as well.
Hey, she doesn't deserve to join this
The
debate.
moderator read.
Why don't we just, you know what? Why don't we just end this debate? Because clearly you already have decided, Cheryl, who will win. Debate has ended.
Have you guys ever seen Circle to Search? Circle to Search is amazing. It allows you to really expand your abilities when it comes to
Hey, come, I show you guys this.
researching.
Can your phone do
yes.
this? I like it.
Like who's
then I
even having this
circle,
conversation?
And it tells you what it is.
An apple. It's called Shein.
Hey,
Shein.
Yeah.
Why would you do that? The whole ecosystem is ruined. From your phone, you cannot transfer to computer. Why would you do that? Just
Why would you do that? Why? Why?
yeah. I agree. That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm using a Google Pixel
Wait,
and
wait.
a MacBook.
So she
So are you an
mentioned-
Apple? Are you a brand obsessed follower then?
I think when
Why
it's
MacBook?
between a Pixel and an iPhone, I choose
No,
a
no,
Pixel
she
because
was
the
talking
features
about
are
the circle to
objectively
search.
better. Yes.
No, see,
tell us
but
about Circle to
today's
Search.
debate.
I can do this and then circle the item and it can tell you what it is or where it
Because
is
you're
and stuff
stupid,
like
right?
that.
You don't know what a trophy
Look
is.
at that.
No, but
Yeah,
Hey,
now I have
Apple
the
users
exact
know
same
what a
trophy.
trophy is.
I can find where to buy it immediately.
Come
We also
here
can. We just do it
to
on
get
Shein.
attacked multiple times.
Deal with it.
Cancer.
I think I want to say that no one has done AI for your phones and made AI more accessible to consumers than Google Pixel has. And they also share this technology with Samsung and other Androids. So, for
Actually, no,
example,
the
Circle to
Apple-
Search has also been given to Samsung phones for use. And they've been using that and promoting it
Yes.
very much too. And I feel like this is an expanded ecosystem because you see other Android phones are kind of talking about each other and sharing their capabilities across the phones.
It's like a big family.
yeah, it really
Yeah.
is.
We're open.
More apps are
Yeah.
catered to the iOS interface. Thank you. Point
yeah.
number one.
And also,
Point number two.
You've gamed the system.
Yes.
for example, Gemini
Annoying
AI.
ads and notification. Many budget Android brands like Xiaomi and Realme display system ads in settings, notification, and even pre-installed apps. Point number next, app quality and optimization. Some apps are better optimized for I'm not screaming here. iOS first, leading to slow performances, more crashes, or missing features on Android. That's why your Instagram didn't upload very well.
I mean, it still uploads fine.
also,
lah.
when
I
you all take
compare
pictures
it
that
now.
looks very nice on an Android phone, the rest of us users on Instagram laugh at it.
Not true. A lot of people told me that the pictures look really nice.
No,
and
they're just very nice people.
they've got a lot better zooms also. Their cameras are way better and
I just want to refute her point on AI because Apple does have AI right now. It came out with the Apple 16. So you might
What
not
can
be
you do
aware.
with your AI?
Yeah.
Maybe tell us a
By the
little
way,
bit about-
Apple's AI
You
is
can't,
said
right?
to be better than Android's
Who
AI
said
in
it?
some
You?
ways
you say
because
one,
because of
Wait, what's going on?
I don't understand.
She said Apple AI is better.
That's the debate.
I mean, I agree.
Sorry, I said no screaming.
Yeah. But Apple's AI is really not better, and I
Yeah.
think
How
this
would you
is
know? You've never used it. So what
based
is
on
that?
surveys that
to.
have been done and
Like when you hear
conducted
it, you're
across-
like
No, because
The
I
Apple
read it and surveys
users.
are done, and because of one big reason, privacy. Because Apple does private cloud compute and it protects user data as opposed to Android. Because all your data, whatever you use AI for, it's uploaded. It's public information. Everyone can
And
access
yet
that
there
if
was
they hack.
still that big Apple cloud hack, which then leaked all the celebrities' informations
Ooh.
and pictures and stuff. So
Not great.
nothing is bulletproof, lah.
It's
Let's be
true.
Point
honest,
number
lah.
next.
I mean, they can really
complicated
say that,
user
yeah.
experience.
But when
Different
it comes
Android
down to
brands
say
use
like
different
Google AI,
interfaces.
there's so many
Samsung One,
users for
UI,
them that
Xiaomi,
you can pretty much
MIUI,
adopt it on
etc.,
a
which can
daily
confuse
basis.
users switching between brands. Point number next, lack of long-term
number
support.
next.
Most Android devices only get 2 to 4 years of updates, while
I-
iPhones get 5 to 7 years, making them
5 to
outdated sooner.
7 years
Point
of
number next,
update.
inconsistent build quality. Some Android manufacturers cut costs by using cheaper materials, leading
Who?
to durability issues. Point number
Who?
next, battery drain and
But it
poor
makes it
optimization.
accessible for
Android
broad.
phones
people to
Yeah.
buy
often
cheaper
struggle
phones.
I
with
think you want
battery
to talk about
efficiency
compassionate. There's
due
so many
to
different types
background
of Android
processors,
phones
manufacturer
because
skins,
the
and
phone
app
market
management
is
issues.
so broad. You need to cater to different consumers' needs.
And that's why a flight combust mid-flight. Okay, I'm so sorry.
That was
I'm so
2016.
sorry, dear, but you don't get to join the
But
debate.
just like his iCloud hack thing, that was like years ago as well, and he brought it up as a point. But anyway, bring me. I want to talk about the Samsung fridge thing. When Apple comes out with iFridge, okay, I'm pretty sure our phone can connect to the damn thing. Just wait, just give it a few years.
Eh, alamak.
Okay, but at this point, Apple markets itself as a higher end tech.
So you're waiting for Apple
brand.
to come up with a Samsung like.
Yeah, I will have a whole
technology lah.
Apple home. Everything is all integrated, seamless.
Wow, Samsung can
I
already
love it.
has that lah. Yeah. So like, continue waiting lah, I guess.
Yeah, I will wait, and it'll be better when they do finally come up with
But
it.
my
mean, that-
point
that is
wasn't
wishful
actually, but my
thinking.
point
Because
wasn't
we
even about the
trust.
fridge, you know.
We trust.
Yeah.
My point was about the phone
Ping,
itself.
ping.
Yeah, the AI
Oh,
itself.
ping.
That the AI can scan like
Wait.
the AI when you take a picture of the fridge, right? They can tell you like, oh, these are the ingredients there.
Because you don't know.
You can make your recipe.
You don't know what you bought.
I don't
No,
know how
it
to
just
cook.
makes
You have to
life
open
I
the
don't know how to
fridge
cook.
door.
No,
It
you
makes
can
life
you can
easier.
tell, but I don't know how to cook. So looking at the ingredients, it will immediately suggest to you, oh, I see pickles, I see apple, I see whatever, and then they'll tell
Salad.
you, oh, you
Oh,
can
I
make
also know.
you can make a pot pie, you know. So
Yeah.
A
things like
pot
that.
pie.
Apple and pickles.
You
Right now-
clearly don't know how to cook.
There have been like so many different types of personal AI assistants, right? But do you use Siri to really have conversations and brainstorm?
All the time when I'm lonely, all this,
Brainstorm.
all the time I do.
I don't
No,
think you have
no.
the
Hey,
ability
Siri,
to
do I
do
talk
that.
to you a lot?
I guess not. But when it comes to Google AI, they have the ability to really interact with you like a proper adult and human being.
And now they've even upgraded it by one level, which is that it has become an AI agent, which means it can actually complete tasks for you. For
Yep.
example, add things into my calendar, help me book a ticket.
Apple does that as well.
Yeah, things like this, you know.
Apple does that as well.
Apple cannot.
What do you? I use Siri all the time to add stuff to
Book
my
ticket.
calendar,
Okay, do it one
to
time.
send a message.
Do it.
Okay, like, hey Siri, turn on my 6:30 alarm.
Alarm.
Alarm. This
Alarm, no
back
lah.
in the old
What
days.
do you mean?
yeah, this
Okay,
alarm.
hey Siri, call Cheryl. Cheryl, sure. Calling.
Have a full like
Okay.
brainstorm.
Now I want
that's
you
what I'm
to-
talking about. So like it it feels like a proper human when you're talking to them. Like they can have banter with you, they can back and forth, you can interrupt them. The speech is actually flowing like a
Show
proper
us.
conversation.
Show us. Show us.
Can, but you're gonna shout at it just to like
Siri can
disprove
tell
it.
me a bedtime story. So what's the
So
point? We
can-
can have
Show us,
no.
show
The
us.
point is
Show
we
us
can have
how
conversations with Siri
humanizing
as well.
Your thing
Okay.
is.
But we don't have conversations
Wow,
with
Siri.
so
Siri.
long
I'm
for you to
sorry.
take me to have this conversation with your phone. Wow, just now she just said, hey Siri, then he talk back. You're still so long. Oh, you're so boring.
You have your bedtime story here.
I know, but the onus is on you to prove that it's better. And your point was that
He
you have
just
all
asked me
these
to do
features,
a
and we
bedtime
have
story.
it too. That's our point.
Yeah,
we are
anything you
refuting
can
yours.
have, we did it better.
Yeah, we.
Hey, Gemini. I'm currently with 3 people right now. One, Elizabeth, Hersey, and Thomas, and we're having a very heated argument.
That doesn't sound too good. What's the argument
Yeah, I
about?
don't know why they're just being so rude and mean. What should I say to them?
Do the same, do the same.
Sometimes, when things get heated,
Okay, but how do
It's
I cool
best to
them
take
down?
Sounds so sad, like she doesn't have a friend, you know?
Yeah, I
maybe
know.
try suggesting a
Just
change of
lonely
scenery.
people.
You could all go for a walk.
Can we
grab
go
some
for a
food
walk,
somewhere
guys?
else.
We
Yeah.
can't,
That
we're in
might
the middle of a
help everyone
shoot
relax a
here.
bit.
We
Yeah.
walk and shoot at the same time.
Okay, now try Siri.
Hey Siri,
We're having a fight.
we're having a fight, and my friends are being really mean. What should I do? Sorry.
Be silent, because, you know,
Yeah.
cold shoulder.
Can you please?
Hey Siri, my friends are being really mean. What should I do? If you think it could be serious, ask me to call emergency services or someone you trust.
Yeah, see? A real
Care and
friend.
concern.
Oh my god! Oh my god! It was calling 999! Jesus Christ!
That is not what you want to
No,
happen.
but what I'm saying, is,
That's my first time calling 999. That's my ex. If they call back, what do I say? Would they call back?
No, I cupped it in time. I cupped it in time.
Oh,
what I'm saying
Wow,
is.
thank God for Android
Oh my
users
gosh.
saving you.
Shh, he's still shouting, guys.
I'm passionate.
What I'm saying is
Loud
that
environment. Do you see how how much care and concern Apple has for
Yeah,
me.
that is a real sign of a true phone that cares like a real friend, not an Android human.
Your friends just call police.
Just because, just because, just
Dude,
Yes.
what if they really were fighting like knives and parangs and like fist fight?
Oh my
god,
It's a real thing.
the police for you.
And look, they care. Around 30 minutes of 90 decibels at this level can cause temporary hearing loss.
Yeah.
Behave like a human
and
being.
their phone has not alerted us one single time Thomas was too loud on myself.
I was enjoying it, so the Android phone understands that
No,
I
no,
enjoy
no,
the atmosphere.
no.
You can
That-
enjoy, but it's a health risk.
That- yeah.
So
We
your
understand
enjoyment is
the
more
need of
important than your
this,
health?
discussion
So
we're
is
having right now
fast
that we're at
food.
work, so they don't want to interrupt.
But you
Yeah,
don't see me
but
slowing
just
down.
because your robot can say more flowery things does not make it more
No,
humanizing.
it's not about flowery. It's about the
Oh dear,
interaction and how
sounds
it
really
feels.
sad. Yeah, I also don't know. Please shut up and have a friend.
Exactly. It can be really helpful for people who may be feeling lonely. And I feel like in recent years, there have been more research done about loneliness in big cities, and this can actually help to really help that solve that problem.
Have you seen all
Point-
the movies? Of
Point
Point
number
number
next.
next.
Point number next.
Undeniable face
apps
unlock.
are more expensive than Android apps because the platform fees are more expensive.
Then you want me to do what? It's not the debate motion, yeah?
It is.
The debate
That's
motion
why
is
Android is superior.
features.
So when it
No,
comes to
it
features,
wasn't about
and I
superior,
think
it's
it
about
also
features.
No,
important
the
to know about
second liner is
accessibility
superior.
to
No, the
these
second liner
features.
is not
so
about that.
if
The
the
second
price
liner is
point
about
is
brand
already
conscious.
lower, it makes
No,
it
no.
more accessible to many people.
Point number
How
next.
much can an app cost?
Complicated backup and restore
it's not
process.
about that,
Point
it's
number
about
next.
how much money you have,
Inconsistent
so.
haptic feedback.
And it's about accessibility.
Point
I don't
the
really
Feedback was
think about
copied
that
from
alone.
Android.
Point number next. Risk of fake or unsafe apps. Since Android allows site loading, users
Point
can
number
unknowingly install malicious apps from untrusted sources, increasing security risks.
Point number next.
Point number
Point
next.
number X.
Complicated.
Apple can't even install any external apps. Oh, sorry.
External apps. What do you mean we can't install external apps? Every app we download is external.
External
what?
what?
No, Android, so you can create your own apps and then create an API
Open
and then, because it's open
Oh
source.
my god,
so you can
fantastic.
actually-
How many people do that? They can't do it. So what's the point of having this feature? Like
They
you
must-
mentioned,
they
we have
must
all these
be
features,
nerds.
Apple users
Accessibility.
don't use it.
Point number
Accessibility of the
finish.
feature. Oh.
Point number next.
Thanks for watching. Herzi and I won. So obviously we are not just brand obsessed followers. We are more than that. We are pretty brand obsessed followers.
Who have aesthetic
Yeah.
and won't ignite mid-flight.
Yeah. We care
Or
about
a
our
communist.
health. We don't want to set you aflame. So we don't use Android. So if you enjoyed this debate, like, share, follow, subscribe. Let us know what you want to hear us talking about next. And we'll see you for the next talk show, debate, whatever. Bye!